All right, now to grind the flat bottom drill bit, what I use is a tool like this, which is a Dremel type tool, and I have a diamond wheel on it. The wheels are really cheap on eBay. They're like, you can get them for under 50 cents a piece. You buy like 8, 10 at a time, or 20 or 30. They come in different sizes. Some have holes in them, and they make different grits. But the cheap ones, you just buy them and you get what grit they send you, and they'll cut anything. I sharpen everything with one of these guys. Even, believe it or not, I even sharpen tungsten carbide, both drill bits and lathe cutting bits. So this is one of my essential tools here. And here's a cheapo drill bit. And if you think, oh man, I don't want to ruin the drill bit trying to grind a flat spot, get you some of these. These are Harbor Freight 29-piece drill bit set. There's a couple in there that aren't the same, but 29-piece drill bit set you can get them for $10.99 when they're on sale. Now, one word of warning about those: there are bent ones. You get bent ones, so you got to be careful. If you get a bent one, it can cause you some difficulty. Now, I'm going to try to grind. What I do is freehand. I hold one in one hand and one in the other, and I have a magnifying glass. I don't have it on there. I have a magnifying glass for this camera. It's a 5-power lens, which gives me a focal length of about 4 or 5 inches. So I got to stay. It's a $10 camera, and it's one of those flip cams, them old flip cams, $10. So it doesn't have autofocus. It's got fixed focus. So you got to be exactly at the right distance to focus it. Whoops, sorry. Now, and it's got I think a 1 3/4 inch screen or something like that. Very hard for me to see that with my old eyes. I have tons of different kinds of glasses, and I need at least 6 power glasses just to see through this little camera. But I'm going to attempt to do this on camera, so show you how easy it is. You could start out by just flattening out that drill bit, which I'm going to do. And this diamond, I don't know how hard it's going to be to hear me. I'm going to try not to talk while I'm grinding, because that grinding sound just kills everything. Try to stay in focus for you here. Now I'm doing this through this 1 3/4 inch screen, so I can hardly see what I'm doing here. You can see how quickly these diamond wheels gobble up this stuff. And you want the wheel to be true. See how that's a very thin line? Shows that the wheel is true. Otherwise it's bouncing around on you. And I use it at the slowest speed. Don't need much speed with these. And I use a Black & Decker RTX tool. They're a little more powerful than the other kind, and it pushes you over the edge. For a cheap unit, $35. Now this is getting difficult because I got this out at arm's length, and I can't see what I'm doing. But basically, if you want to see the angles real well, get a two-flute end mill and study the geometry of that tip. I think it's about maybe 10 degrees this way. Go from center out on one radius. 10 degrees this way. And you want the center of the drill bit to be lower than the outside. You want the outside of you want the outside of the drill bit blade to engage first, just before the middle. Man, I cannot. You'll notice I'm basically you want to go by the amount of time you're spending on each side to cut it to get the same amount cut off. So if you spend 3 or 5 seconds on one flute, spend the same amount of time on the other side. I got to move this over so you guys can see a little better. Notice I'm taking it into the middle. The middle is the outside edge of my blade. Spin it over. This is going to be a little exaggerated because I normally am about 1/4 of an inch away from this when I'm grinding it. Right now I'm 2 feet away. Give you an idea what that is looking like. See that? It's basically, I hope you can see that. It's similar. Now I copied the grind of a 2-flute end mill. And if you do that, they'll cut like a 2-flute end mill. Now, in order to see if you're making the things straight, cutting them even, put it on a flat and see if you get a 90 degree. I don't. It's way off. See that? Way off. But you get the idea. Now I can start, and I have different wheels. I have some resin composite wheels that are much finer that I'll finish it with. You may notice I lock my fingers together like this. That's my entire base stability. Platform. Table. Trying to think of the right word. See how that's getting to be here. Yeah, that's dramatic. I mean, if I stuck that in aluminum, it would stop. You want it flatter across, not as much rake inside like I have it. And you don't need much rake that way either. But basically, even this, if you run this into a hole that's already drilled, just to flatten the end out, it'll do a fine job. And like I said, if you're afraid that you're going to ruin a good drill bit, buy them cheap ones. If you're only going to use them to flatten the bottoms of holes, see, that'll cut. Now, that's not, I wouldn't use this. I would go back and do a much better job of it. But you get the idea. It's not that hard to make a end cutting or a flat bottom cutting drill bit. This will work. If I needed to take a whatever this size is, a 9/32 hole, and make a flat bottom, this will do the trick. And I do this kind of stuff because I don't have money. Like this camera rig, $10 camera on a $2 tripod. That's the kind of money I have to work with. But I get her done. That's what it's all about, folks, getting her done. Thanks for watching.